Would you like some free book corner templates? Keep watching. Hello everyone, my name is Tina, I'm head of design of VectoriaDesigns. 2 years ago, when I just started making YouTube videos, I made a video on how to make book corners with paper. In that video, I explained how to measure everything to make the perfect book corners for your book. Unfortunately, that can be a bit time consuming, so I made printable templates for you. This means you don't have to do the measuring anymore. And I also included SVG files, so if you have a cutting machine, you don't even have to do that anymore. The files are for book covers that are 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch thick. That's about 1 to 3 millimeter. If you like these free files, just opt in on the link below and they're yours to play with. In this video, I'm going to show you the printables, how to assemble the book corners, and how to use the SVG files in Silhouette Studio. For the video from 2 years ago, I will put a link in the description also. And now let me show you those printables. As I said, you get a PDF file with 3 pages, but you also get an SVG file for each of these images. Now, of course, every book cover has another thickness. Now, these ones that you see here are 1/16 of an inch thick, and the ones that you see here are 1/8 of an inch thick. Also, these both book corners are 1 inch by 1 inch. And the third page you're going to get, I printed this on craft paper just to show you the different possibilities. These are all squares that help close each of these corners. So as you see, you can print them on colored paper, patterned paper, or just white paper, because in the video 2 years ago I painted them with metallic acrylic paint, and that was super fine, so you don't need any fancy colored paper. For the SVG files, I'll show you at the end of the video how I use them in Silhouette Studio. Now let me quickly show you how to assemble these if you haven't seen the video from 2 years ago. So I cut out these two with my Silhouette Cameo. And I also used the machine to score the folding lines already, so I don't have a lot of work anymore. Now this is fairly heavy paper, it's 250 grams, so it's still a bit fiddly. The thinner the paper you use, the easier it's going to get. So I'm going to use my bone folder to make sharp folds, because this is such a little project. I want everything to be right. So that's one. So it's actually super helpful that I don't have to score these lines anymore, and it's perfect. Now to close this one, you can use some tape if you like, but the way I like to do it is with these. And these squares I didn't run through my Silhouette machine just because you can easily cut them yourself quickly enough. But if you like, there's an SVG file for this one too. Just going to cut one out. So I have one of these, and in the center there's a diagonal line, and that's going to be the folding line. So let me score this just a little bit. This. Don't need a scoreboard for this. Fold in half. And the idea is to put glue everywhere and glue this piece on, and then you have a closed book corner. 2 years ago I did it with glue. Now I'm going to use some double-sided tape just to show you that that's an option too. I'm just not in a glue mood today for some reason. So this has been totally double-sided taped all over. Make sure to hold this so that the seam is shut. And glue one half in there. And then fold over the other half, like that. If you don't like to paint these, make sure to cut these squares in the same pattern as the rest of the corner, of course. If you like to make these metallic with paint, take a look at the video from 2 years ago. But of course, you don't have to paint these at all. You can embellish them any way you like. On the video from 2 years ago, someone suggested to emboss the paper before assembling. That's a brilliant idea also. And if you have any more suggestions on how to finish these, please leave them in the comments. We can learn from each other. See, this one fits perfectly. Just put some glue in there if you're happy, and like this. Perfect book corner. So indeed, if your cover is a bit thinner than this is about 1/8 of an inch, use the 1/16 of an inch template. And now we're coming at the end of the video and I'm going to show you how to apply these SVG files in Silhouette Studio. And as you can see, I still have the Silhouette Cameo 2. So I'm going to have to change my blade between the cutting and the scoring step. But if you have the Silhouette Cameo 3, you can attach 2 blades and program each blade. Here I am in Silhouette Studio and I'm going to open one of the SVG files that you get. You can adjust the page size if you like. And then drag this little template into place, and you can even duplicate it as much as you like. So if you want to fill a whole page with these templates, just hold the Alt or the Option key while dragging them next to each other. I'm just going to cut these 2. And then let's go to Send. And you have a few options on top, but I find the Fill tab to work the easiest. And there you can see there are 2 layers. The dark green line, you see if I toggle it on and off, is the outside cutting line. And the same with the light green, you see those are the scoring lines. And first I'm going to choose the right settings. Now every machine is different, every paper is different, so I encourage you to experiment with your settings and your paper. But what I'm going to do is I have made a setting for scoring lines and I'm going to show you in a minute what those are, but it can be a bit different for you. So my scoring paper settings have a very low speed and force and the blade is barely set to 1. And according to the thickness of the paper, I might set my blade to 1.5. And for the cutting line, I also made some custom settings, but I actually just used the setting of cardstock textures heavy, but I put the blade on 4 instead of 3. Since I have to change my blade, I have to send the score task and the cut task separately. And I like to start with the scoring task. So I check off the cutting box and I highlight the scoring box. I made sure my blade is set on 1 and I'm simply going to load my mat. Everything is ready. And then I simply click Send and my machine starts cutting. And now the machine is scoring very lightly with the blade into the paper, but because the paper is heavy enough, it's not going to cut through. And if you also have a Cameo 2, it's very important to not move or remove the cutting mat. Just leave it as it is. The only thing you need to do is to carefully change the blade setting. So I'm going to change it from a 1 to a 4. And when the blade's firmly in place, just uncheck the scoring task and check the cutting task and just press Send again. And then the machine will start cutting totally in place. Remove the mat. And as you can see, you can easily remove them. Okay everyone, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope these free printable templates help you to make your own printable book corners. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share with friends that might like these too. And I wish you a truly beautiful day. Thank you everyone. Bye.